विनायक चेअर जरा आपला कॅमेरा थोडा खाली घेतोस का बघ. सरांना चेअर वरती घ्यायला सांग थोडी.
सर आपण अजून थोडं खाली घेऊ.
मग पाठीमागची स्क्रीन थोडी खाली घ्यायला लागेल.
खाली घेऊ का? बघा सर.
हा बस. आता कॅमेरा व्यवस्थित कर. ओके. हा ओके. विनायक. मार्तनचं आहेत का? ऍडमिट करू का विचार सगळ्यांना.
सर कुठे पण झाला हेड ऑफिसलाच की डॉक्टर्स कॉलनी तिथेच ना हेड ऑफिसलाच की कुठे पण झाला. हा आले आले पोतेच आले की.
हेड ऑफिस आलेलं होतं तिथे घडी झालं सिस्टीम मॅनेजर हे ते लागलं लोन ऑफिसर सगळं
लॉकर सिस्टीम
खाली
एकदम ना
ब्रँच लागते ते ब्रँच मध्ये आले लोकांना
म्हणजे लोकांच्या ह्याच्यासाठी पैसे ठेवायचे.
हो ते ब्रँच मॅनेजर येऊ
विनायक कॅमेरा सरळ कर. ओके, थोडा विनायकडे कर. हा बस 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 जास्त झाला. सेंटरला घे. ठीक आहे,
हॅलो
सेंटरला घे. सेंटर
हॅलो
थोडस विनायकडे, थोडस विनायकडे.
विजय सर माझा हॅलो विजय सर माझा आवाज ऐकू येतोय का?
तुझा येतोय की. जरा नेट चेक कर जरा सरांच्या तिथं लॅपटॉपचं नेट चेक कर. इंटरनेट कुठलं कनेक्ट आहे बघ सरांच्याला.
मीटिंग वरचं कनेक्टेड आहे.
बघ इंटरनेट कमी यायला लागलंय.
इकडे टीव्ही वर माझा पण डिस्प्ले दिसत नाहीये. आला, आता आला, दिसतोय.
एकदा डिस्कनेक्ट करून कनेक्ट कर.
हॅलो
डिस्कनेक्ट करून कनेक्ट कर.
इंटरनेट कनेक्शन स्लो आहे.
तेच डिस्कनेक्ट करून कनेक्ट कर.
हे वायफाय डिस्कनेक्ट
Hello?
Okay. वरती जातो.
हो सर.
झालं?
हॅलो सागर सर.
हा बोला की.
स्टार्ट.
हा आता ओके झाले, चालू झाले, चालू.
नाही काय कॅमेरा इकडे, हा इकडे करा, सागरकडे करा. हा स्टार्ट करा. स्टार्ट करून देत ना?
एकच मिनिट सर. हा सर स्टार्ट करा.
हा
स्टार्ट करू ना?
हो.
स्टार्ट करा.
Good morning, all of you. On behalf of Shri Ravalnath Cooperative Housing Finance Society Limited, Azra, Multi-State Head Office, Doctors Colony, Gadinglas, and R.B. Markolkar Mahavidyalay, Chandigarh, I welcome Honorable Keynote Speaker, Dr. Jagannath Patil, Advisor, NAC India, Honorable Dr. M.B. Kothare, NAC Assessor and former Principal, ALE's GI Bagewadi College, Nippani, District Belgavi, Honorable Principal Dr. D.R. More, former Director, DCUD, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and all of you for this important webinar on a national education policy and quality of education. National education policy has been a much debated topic in recent times. The perceptions of Dr. Jagannath Patil on national education policy will provide a new and meaningful insight to all of us. The two resource persons, Dr. M.B. Kothare and Principal Dr. D.R. More, will focus on recent changes in the format of SSR and AQR of NAC. Now, I invite Shri M.L. Chowgule, Member Senate, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and Founder Chairman, Shri Ravalnath Cooperative Housing Finance Society Limited, Azra, Multi-State, for welcome speech.
Start na. Honorable Dr. Jagannath Patil sir, Honorable Dr. Kothare sir, Honorable Dr. D.R. More sir, Chandigarh College Coordinator Professor Mane sir, and my friends. On behalf of Ravalnath Cooperative Housing Finance Society, I welcome you all in this national webinar on national policy of education and quality in education. It has been a tradition of our society to engage in academic and social activities. Apart from the routine work of providing housing finance, we have already organized a state level and national level webinar on national policy of education. Realizing the need for more contemplation on the topic, we have organized today's webinar. I once again welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, let me invite Dr. M.M. Mane, IPSC Coordinator, R.B. Markolkar Mahavidyalay, Chandigarh, to make introductory speech.
Good morning to all of you. Respected Sri M.L. Chowgule sir, Senate Member Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and Founder Chairman Sri Ravalnath Cooperative Housing Society. Our Principal Dr. P.R. Patil, today's guest speakers Dr. Jagannath Patil, Advisor NAC, Dr. M.B. Kothare sir, former Principal and NAC Assessor, and Dr. D.R. More, former DCUD Director, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and delegates. I welcome you all to this webinar on national education policy and quality of education. Year 2020 is a year of uncertainty, and we have seen how the whole world is changed by this COVID-19 situation. This year 2020 will be also remembered for an extreme change in Indian education system. As we know, 34 years old education policy is being replaced by new education policy 2020. This policy will be helpful for improving quality of education, skill-oriented learning, and creating culture of innovations, so that Indian Educational Institute able to compete with the world's best institute. As we teachers are main stakeholders in the implementation of this new policy, it is necessary that we all should have thorough knowledge of this policy. Keeping this in mind, we have organized today's national webinar, and I hope it will be fruitful to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I request Honorable Dr. Jagannath Patil to deliver his keynote address.
Namaskar. Can you make me co-host? I need to share my presentation. You need to, technical person, you can ask him to make me co-host so that I can share my presentation.
Sir, now you can share the files and
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes. Can you see the presentation slide on the screen now?
Yes, sir.
And you can also listen me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Just to make sure the things are in place. Good morning, namaskar to everyone. President of RHF, Honorable ML Chowgle sir, fellow speakers of this national webinar, former BCUD Director of Shivaji University, More sir, and former principal from the KLE group of institutions, MB Kotle sir. Both have been the active assessors of NAC in the past. The principal and the coordinator from the RBM College, Chandigarh, all the team which is coordinating this event, and dear participants, fellow teachers. I believe all the participants are teachers or principals or IQAC coordinators. First, let me compliment and congratulate Ravalnath Housing Finance Society for organizing this particular national webinar and taking the initiative. Initially, I was a little bit reluctant. I was wondering how a banking institution or housing finance institution is so keen about the seminars or webinars on quality higher education. But then soon I realized that the passion or the commitment of this particular institution towards education, a large number of initiatives that Ravalnath Housing Finance Society is taking to spread the cause of education and particularly quality education are really much appreciable. I wonder if such kind of zeal and enthusiasm is shown by many higher education institutions, teachers and students, then perhaps India will soon reach its desired goals to become Vishwaguru, as is pointed out in this new education policy. One of the dream of this new education policy is to make India Vishwaguru. That is the dream. I believe that dream can be possible only with such spirited, committed individuals. So I compliment them. I also thank RBM College for being the co-organizer of this event, and also thank all of the participants. I was told that about 400 plus participants have registered for this, and slowly people are joining. Currently, I can see about 60 to 70 participants have logged in. Maybe some people are watching through the YouTube or something like that. So thank you for sacrificing your Sunday morning. You have spared time on this holiday. So thank you very much. Let me come to the topic of this presentation that I suggested to focus on this. Organizers specifically wanted to talk about NAC accreditation and its new changes. But I suggested that I have been talking about NAC and its framework since last 3 years. As one of the convener or major player in formulating the revised accreditation framework in 2017, I have delivered more than 100 talks on NAC's quality framework and reached close to 1 million people in last 3 years. So I think I have talked too much about NAC and its framework. So now the new thing that we should talk about is new national education policy and what are its implications for the quality for the higher education. So today's my talk is on quality and accreditation, some reflections on National Education Policy 2020. you know that NAC, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, was born out of the recommendation of another national education policy. In 1986, national education policy was launched and a plan of action was created in 1992. So on the basis of that, National Assessment and Accreditation Council was established in Bangalore. And what happened ever since, all of you know, the 25 years of pioneering efforts to launch internal and external quality assurance in India. At that time, there was no concept of quality assurance in education. Forget external quality assurance. So it was a very challenging task for this organization to bring that culture into higher education system. The first founder director of NAC happened to be from the Kolhapur district, as many of you know. Professor Arun Nigvekar he basically belongs to Kolhapur, and he was the first founding director of NAC. And I am very happy to have learned many things from him when he was UGC chairman. And I have privilege of having a very close association of and guidance of Professor Nigvekar. And now I have an opportunity to be playing some key role in this national organization. So NAC has really made remarkable achievements in changing the culture in the higher education system. I don't claim that we have changed entire country, but we have made a very strong difference in large number of institutions. Over 300 universities are now accredited by NAC. More than 7,000 colleges have been accredited. We have completed 3 cycles of accreditation. Now, number of institutions are there in the 4th cycle. So, lot of impact on the system of higher education. Several new initiatives have been started just because of NAC. Now, if a college is attempting so many things like alumni association, internal quality assurance, the recent learning outcomes, student satisfaction, so many things have been brought into picture because of NAC's quality assurance framework. Globally also, NAC has been very well recognized. As you know, I have personally been representing NAC at various international forums as a president of Asia Pacific Quality Network or as a president of the International Network of Quality Assurance Agencies in higher education globally. So NAC has made it easy for our students to move globally, because if you are from accredited institution, you can easily get admissions in other countries like USA or Australia or in many other European countries as well. So NAC has given this international recognition to the accredited higher education institutions. And this new paradigm of quality that we have ushered in from 2017 under guidance of the Niti Aayog and the ministry and even directions from the Prime Minister's office, this new revised accreditation framework, of which I was given responsibility as the national convener of this framework under the guidance of Professor D.P. Singh. And now we continue this initiative under our new director, Professor Sharma. This revised accreditation framework is considered as one of the unique framework in the world, where we have devoted 70% of our assessment on fact-based, data-based, evidence-based digital evaluation, benchmark-based evaluation. Only 30% is now based on the peer judgment or the expert judgment. So I think this is a remarkable achievement, and it is an attempt to revolutionize the Indian higher education. So now the new education policy has recognized all the efforts that made by NAC, its contribution and impact. And now this NEP 2020 is taking this quality movement created by NAC to a very high level, a very higher level. This quality movement is being taken. And one of the major recommendation that they have is that there will be now multiple quality assurance agencies similar to NAC or NBA. So this is a key feature, but many people think that this is the only key feature. But my presentation will tell you the details of the new education policy. You might have heard about various aspects of new education policy, the key features of that. But today I am going to exclusively focus on the elements pertaining to quality of higher education and accreditation, what is envisaged in the new education policy. To put it in a nutshell, the accreditation will become a backbone of quality and the new regulatory architecture of higher education as per the NEP 2020. So in the future, whatever is going to happen, the many things will depend on the quality and the accreditation. And that is the core of my talk today. What I have done is I have borrowed the specific recommendations relevant directly in this presentation. I have not touched them. It is for because I want to say that for coming years, at least for 2 to 3 decades from now, this educational policy is just like our Gita or our Bible or our Quran or our Gnaneshwari. So every word of that policy is very important, because from 1 or 2 lines of this policy, some acts will come, national institutions will be formed, and some revolutions can start. So that is the potential of this policy. So I have not touched the contents. I will present the content as it is, and then I will make my commentary on those points that have been flagged. I have not covered all aspects of NEP, only focused on the higher education quality and accreditation. This is the vision of National Education Policy 2020. Many of you might have read. And this policy envisions an education system rooted in Indian ethos. That is very, very important. At the same time, they are talking about providing high quality education to all, and thereby making India a global knowledge superpower. So on the one hand, they are talking about Indian ethos, a education that is strongly rooted in Indian culture, but at the same time, they want to give a globally competitive, high standard education, and ultimately they want our students to become truly global citizens. So this policy is a combination. The vision is a combination of Indian ethos and the global aspirations. Coming directly to the higher education part of that, there are many things in the school education. Very fundamental reforms have been proposed, like 5+3+3+4, and so many changes have been proposed in the school education sector. I am not going to talk on that. Maybe I will start with just one part that is important for us as higher education. Now there will be assessment and accreditation system at school level also. All the schools in country are going to be assessed and accredited by a framework which is going to be created. So I think that is also again a kind of impact of what the good work that NAC has been doing and in reforming the higher education. So it is good for higher education that school education will be improved. So the students coming into the stream of higher education will be much better groomed. So that is the one major benefit of what reforms are recommended in the school education part. So this is our aim for the higher education, which titles as Quality Universities and Colleges, a new and forward-looking vision for India's higher education system. So what they are saying is that in the 21st century, we need quality higher education, and it must aim to develop good, thoughtful, well-rounded and creative individuals. And a quality higher education, I am emphasizing wherever quality is there. So I just want to bring to your notice how many times they are talking about quality, how many times they are talking about the accreditation. So it says a quality higher education must enable personal accomplishment and enlightenment, constructive public engagement, productive contribution to the society. It must prepare students for the meaningful and satisfying lives and work roles and enable economic independence. Again, at the societal level, they are describing the purpose of the higher education. We need to understand what is the funda or fundamentals of these reforms. They say the purpose of quality higher education is therefore creation of greater opportunities for individual employment. It represents key to more vibrant, socially engaged, cooperative communities and very cohesive, cultured, productive, innovative, progressive, and prosperous nation. So this is like a value framework. This is like laying the value framework for the higher education quality reforms. And they have highlighted the problems that we know. There are several problems that our Indian higher education is currently facing. And what are these problems? They point about a severely fragmented higher education ecosystem. We have less emphasis on development of cognitive skills and learning outcomes, a very rigid separation of discipline with early specialization and streaming of students into narrow areas of study, then a limited access to socio-economically disadvantaged area students, very limited autonomy to the teachers and limited autonomy to the institutions also. And a very important point that today I'm going to talk little detail later is about the inadequate mechanism of merit-based career management and progression of faculty and institutional leaders. We know that there is a career progression, but it is hardly merit-based. It is like automatic. So we'll talk about that later. So this is one of the problems. Then we have this lesser emphasis on research in many of the universities and colleges, and there is lack of competitive peer-reviewed research funding across disciplines. Opportunities are there, but they are limited. And there is a suboptimal governance and leadership of HE. There is a crisis of leadership in our country at universities, at colleges, even at the national institutions. We see this crisis of leadership, and what solution this policy is going to talk. This is one point where my personal reflections are little not so happy. They have, this policy talks really about reforming this sector, but actual recommendations are not specific enough that how are we going to address this problem of leadership. This was addressed in a better way, according to me, in a Kothari Commission, in which our JP Naik, this conference is happening in Gadinglas, which happens to be the a land of JP Naik. So many people who can attribute Kothari Commission recommendation, wherein JP Naik ji was secretary. So that policy had very specific recommendations about the educational leadership. Here there are recommendations, but I don't find them specific. Perhaps when that is elaborated into the documents or acts, that can be done. And this policy also talks about ineffective regulatory system and a large affiliating universities resulting into low standards of undergraduate education. So this is also a big problem. They have given a solution to that, a solution that I will discuss in future in next slides. But I am also not convinced entirely about that solution. Completely doing away with affiliation is one solution that has been given. But the questions are whether we are ready for that, whether our teachers are ready, whether our managements are ready, whether our students are ready for that kind of transformation, and what we have to do for that. So these are the challenges that have been flagged by the policy itself. And therefore, policy has made very significant recommendations. One core theme of this entire recommendation is that they wanted to do away from small institutions. The funda that small is beautiful is not accepted to the policymakers in this case. They are saying we need to have viable institutions, what they are calling as large multidisciplinary universities and colleges with at least one in or near every district. And they have put the critical strength of 3,000 as a target strength for college, autonomous degree college. Then they are saying about moving towards faculty and institutional autonomy, revamping curriculum, pedagogy and assessment, then reaffirming the integrity of the faculty and institutional leadership position through merit-based appointment. How? We don't know. We'll talk about that. The establishment of a national research foundation. This is also a very good point, wherein a lot of enthusiastic researchers can access the funds. And governance of HEIs by high quality independent boards. I have doubts about that. It works in IIMs and IITs, but whether it can work in Chandigarh or in my Radhanagari, I doubt whether this will work, but we will talk about that. And light but tight regulation by a single regulator that they are recommending, the HECI, Higher Education Commission of India. And also talk about increased access, equity, and inclusion through range of measures by scholarship, philanthropic initiatives, and a lot of support to disadvantaged and underprivileged students. And there is also a focus on open and distance learning education. A slight departure from the earlier policies. You know that in last 2 decades, there were several attempts of making reforms of higher education. There was a Sam Pitroda National Knowledge Commission. There were some other national committees which were formed to recommend. They had given targets of large number of higher education institutions to be formed in order to achieve the expansion and reach that GER of 50% in coming years. They have been talking about creating more universities and more college. This policy is not really talking about creating large number of institutions. They are talking about creating, rather not creating, converting existing institutions into a viable sized multidisciplinary education so that they can become standalone, independent, autonomous institution. That is one major part of this policy. The second major thrust, what they wish is a lot of GER can be achieved by open and distance learning education, ODL. So that ODL also is a very important component of this policy. And they are saying the ODL will be given, can be given by all different colleges, universities, provided they have excellent grading, accreditation. So this is a new mechanism which is being proposed. So I will go through some salient features, and and I already talked about that. This 10.1 talks about the consolidation of our current higher education institutions. And that if some of you have seen the All India Survey on Higher Education, we see that a large number of colleges in our country are too very small. There are several thousand colleges of which student strength is not even 100. Less than 100 student strength, there are few thousand colleges in the country. So it is impossible to have critical manpower, and many of them are self-financing. It means there is no government support for them. So it is a vicious circle because they have just few students, they don't get any fees, and they pay very less to the teachers. And this is a poor quality, poorly paid, poor education, resulting into unemployed youth. So this is a kind of vicious circle, and they have rightly tried to break this vicious circle by suggesting a viable structure so that there could be 2,000 or 3,000 students, so that you can have large number of faculties, teachers, you could have critical mass or the financial support to have a holistic education. So this is very pertinent recommendation which I support very much. Of course, there are challenges. Many people perhaps have been criticizing that. What happens to the colleges in rural area, tribal area, where they cannot, if they want to go to district place, like where this college Chandigarh is there, you have to travel 100 kilometers or at least 70, 80 kilometers to go to a city to have such a big viable college. I don't think that 1 or 2 colleges in our district will be just this strong with 2,000, 3,000 students. So this challenge, how we are going to address of tribal and rural areas, that we have to see. Of course, there are solutions to that, for which we need to change the mindset. That is what I feel. they are in substantiating this argument. They have given examples of our old ancient universities like Takshashila, Nalanda, Vallabhi, Vikramshila, which were globally renowned universities. There was a time when students used to come from around the world. सारी दुनिया से भारत में लोग आते थे पढ़ने के लिए. आज है कि हम दुनिया भर में लोगों को भेज देते हैं पढ़ने के लिए, just because we don't have a single university in our country which comes into top 100 rankings. So down few thousand years, rather than making progress up, we have gone down. So that we are no more a quality hub of the quality education hub of the world, but we are rather poor education. If you see the examples of PISA and so many other things. So I think this is an example, and that's why autonomous degree granting college is the recommendation. And many people attending this webinar now, they need to know that this is what is their future. As per the policy, they don't want you to be a part of a small college, but they want you to be a part of an autonomous degree granting college. Idea is that by 2030 or 2035, the so-called affiliating colleges will not exist. So that's why the recommendation is for a stage-wise, granting of graded autonomy to colleges through a system of transparent system of accreditation. So this all will depend your progression from a small affiliated college to a degree granting autonomous college will be based on your accreditation. So that is very important part, and that's why accreditation body has to set benchmarks for each level of accreditation. And last part also I want to note, flag that they say with appropriate accreditations, autonomous degree granting colleges could evolve into research intensive, teaching intensive universities if they so desire. So every one of you representing a college, a small affiliating college now, can aspire to become university as per this policy. You know, these days, what is required to form a private universities? Politics, money, muscle, everything is needed to have a private university. But now with this policy, through quality assurance, through accreditation, you can dream to become university. So that is the good dream that they have given to all the managements, to the teachers. I think this policy gives that dream. And again, emphasizing in 10.5 that there is an upgrade from college to university based on accreditation. Accreditation system will develop and use appropriately different and relevant norms across the range of HUIs. However, the expectations of high quality will remain the same in all the areas. So this is by 2040. Earlier it was decided 2030. Now they are saying by 2040, all higher education institutions should aim to become the multidisciplinary institutions. No single faculty, but multidisciplinary with large enrollment, 2,000, 3,000 enrollment, and autonomous institutions. And another important point this policy is talking, and I'm very glad that this point I have been talking for last decade. Wherever I go to villages and some states, I keep on talking about importance of bilingual education. Our key problem of our country is that there is a very rigid separation. There are high-fi, rich institutions, English. It's an entirely new India. And we have this very poor, rural, underprivileged class, which represent our Bharat. That is in our rural language. Marathi में है, Kannada में है, Gujarati में है, Bengali में है. All languages, this poor class, millions of students, millions of teachers, hundreds and thousands of institutions in language institutions. And this, India and Bharat have never met. The students from India go to USA, go to UK, they become CEO of Google, they become executives in multinational corporations. And the हमारे भारत के जो छात्र है वो रास्ते पे उतर के हाथ में डंडा लेके और पत्थर लेके गाड़ियों को तोड़ते हैं, हमें आरक्षण दो, ये फलाना करो, वो करो, ये रद्द करो, ये कैंसिल करो, ये करके. So this is the divide. The reality of India is this great India Bharat divide, and that is perpetrated by this education system, which is either in English or in your local language. So this has to be, beaten. This has to be overcome, and this policy gives a very subtle hint about that. They are talking everywhere, not everywhere, but in many places, about the bilingual education. And this is a tough task, but it has to happen. I was in Japan for last 1 year, and I have seen how they are doing everything in Japanese. The college entire subjects, even science subject, engineering subjects, everything is taught in English. Research is done in English. Research, everything is in Japanese. Everything is in Japanese. But still, they are one of the richest country in the world. So those who are telling that to become rich, to become powerful, to become superpower, you have to know English. It is a misconception. You can do it with your language, provided you need lakhs of teachers who are both strong in English and the local language. So the knowledge that is existing in world languages, in English, in French, in German, and so many other languages, that can be brought into our mother tongue. And that cannot be done by only learning in Marathi. You have to be strong both in English, both in Marathi, or maybe if you are English and Kannada, English and Bengali, then you will be able to learn the best of the world, take it into your language to rural masses, to everybody, and whatever is the local language, that traditional knowledge that we have accumulated from thousands of years, that can be then taken into English to the world, to the different part of the country. So I think this is very important aspect, and they have spoken in length about this, and this has to be done. It is not just central government. Every state government has to take this seriously and develop the language and the literature, research, everything in that languages. Again, coming to the next point, they are talking about funding-based accreditation, funding based on accreditation. So growth of the public and private institutions with a strong emphasis, developing a large number of outstanding public institutions. There will be a fair and transparent system of determining increased level of public funding support for public HEIs. So essentially, they are talking about giving funding based on accreditation. It is not very clear. I would think that when it is translated into actual laws or acts, we have to specify, that is my personal opinion, is that this has to become a legal norm. Nobody will get funding unless they get accredited to a certain level to show. There will not be no other consideration, no politics, no regional things, nothing. Exclusively based on merit, exclusively based on the status of accreditation, the quality of teachers, the quality of student outcomes, the inputs by the management, a transparent criteria of accreditation, and on the basis of that funding, that formula will work. Currently, we know that very poorly funded system we have. Out of 50,000 institutions in India, only 8,000 plus institutions get some kind of funding, either from center or largely from the state institution. So this is a very great recommendation, provided it translates into the act accordingly. Again, very important point, I have specified that open and distance education is considered as important way to reach higher gross enrollment ratio. And that also they are saying, if you have good accreditation, you can offer ODL. Now also it is like that. ODL can be offered by only those universities in India currently which have NAACS 3.26 and above accreditation grading. So this strategy may likely to continue. Only thing, it may come down also, because we are talking about degree granting colleges. So colleges also can offer distance education program. provided they have certain high accreditation status. So this is very good point. Again, autonomy. Now we already have this graded autonomy system. This will be further strengthened. So you will get funds based on the accreditation. You will get ODL status based on accreditation. And now this is autonomy. You will also get autonomy of functioning based on the accreditation status. So this is also a very important point. Some few points, they are not directly related to accreditation or quality, but I thought I should flag, and because they are very important. They are talking about the holistic education, and they are talking about blending of professional education and the higher education. Currently, it is very tight. Only engineering, teacher education, nursing, blah, blah, are separate professional. And majority of the Indian colleges, which are just arts, commerce, or science colleges, they are supposed to dole out only this graduates who are not supposed to have these skills. So this kind of notion has been dispelled by this policy. They are saying every higher education has to be skill-based education. And that's why they are giving examples of our ancient Indian system, which had 64 kalas or arts, and kala in not narrow sense of BA or Bachelor of Arts. The kala means everything in old things. It includes all scientific fields, including chemistry, mathematics, singing, painting, everything came under kala, 64 kalas. So I think this is a focus of the new policy, which is a welcome thing. I can skip this value-based part. There are a good news for the college students is that, because we know that currently this problem of research not getting enough seats in the universities for PhD research. So now they are proposing this research at even college level, and a 4-year research degree, bachelor's degree with research, after which the students can directly go to PhD, no need of even masters or MPhil. This is one of the important suggestions that can add to the quality of the students as well as the institutions. And focus on research is obviously there. And you might have heard several times about NRF, National Research Foundation, that they are talking about. I won't take much time, but they are saying NRF will function to help support such a vibrant research and innovation culture across higher education institution, labs, and other research organizations. So the college can stand to benefit from this new initiative. This is also another important point about student support and environments. We have talked much about the entry and exit, multiple entry and exits, where students can go after 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, something like that. But the focus of this entire thing is on the outcomes-based learning. So, and choice-based credit system that we have reluctantly and lately accepted. Now we have to move further into outcomes-based education, which NAC has been emphasizing since last few years. This is again about norms, standards, and guidelines for systemic development and regulation, accreditation of ODL and quality of ODL, then purpose of achieving global standards of quality. Internationalization is also being talked about in this, and that is one point of controversy. I believe some people are criticizing this move of permitting some globally reputed universities into India as a part of internationalization. Let me tell you, having represented India in several countries, I have visited more than 60 countries, been part of several international initiatives. This thought that coming of international education in India will cause threat to our system is very derogatory thought. Globally, I have seen institutions and universities, more diverse the students, more diverse the teachers, higher the quality of education. I am a student of journalism, teaching in journalism. I visited Singapore University's journalism department a few years ago, almost 10 years ago, I visited there. So in one department of journalism, they were having teachers from 22 countries, teachers from 22 countries in one department, and students from so many countries. And that's why in 20 years of formation of such universities, they are among the top 100 in the world. So if you really want a good quality education, we need to have this diversity. I remember when we proposed this one component of accreditation in NAAC's framework, that how many teachers from other states you have in a college or university, it was heavily opposed, saying that no, it is not possible, something like that. Unfortunately, I think it is being knocked down, this criteria also. It is very, very regressive, I would say, thinking to show that why IITs are IITs, why IIMs are IIMs. If IITs people say that I am based in Belgaum, I will take only teachers from Belgaum or Karnataka. Or if there is a IIM based in Pune, they will say I will take only teachers from Maharashtra and students from Maharashtra. That will become some local Janta college. And that's what has become. We are very poor colleges, poor quality education. Teachers are not poor, I'm sorry. Teachers are rich. But the poor quality students, poor quality institutions, that is because we don't allow this diversity of teachers. When people come from different cultures, different backgrounds, different languages, they add to the quality of the institutions. And that is very important thought, how the countries like Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, so many countries, like even China, such a country which is very rigid walls. They have put a rigid wall around their country. They don't allow the Facebook, they don't allow the Google in the country, but they have allowed the foreign universities to come there, because everybody knows that when the foreign universities come, there will be a good competition, good teachers will come in, there will be a high quality benchmark. If your competitor is strong, good quality, you will try to match that. And that's why overall growth will happen. So I think this is a welcome move. And India in turn also can send its students abroad. Our universities can set up campus outside, again, based on the accreditation or something like that. So I think this is good move, and we should accept it with open mind. That's what I think. Faculty is very important topic of this entire discourse, and they are observed this very serious observation made by this NEP. They say that despite various improvements in the status of the academic profession, huge salary, so many other career progression avenues, they say faculty motivation in terms of teaching, research, and service in HEIs remains far lower than desired level. And that we have seen in a NAAC. I have been there for 18 years. I have seen that, visiting hundreds of colleges in the country. Wherever there are government colleges, government funded colleges, the motivation of the faculty remains low. They are comfortable. They get all the things in time, all the pay scales, all the incentives, everything you get in time. There are some hurdles like NAAC that you have to work during that time. Otherwise, life is so beautiful for many people, but that doesn't help the country. The country continues to be poor, with millions of people in poverty. So I think this policy has tried to identify some reasons and promote some things to improve the motivation level of the faculty members in the country. One of the reason why this happens is about the way recruitments happen. And that's why they say faculty will be appointed to individual institutions and generally not be transferred across institutions, so that they may feel truly invested in and committed to their institution and community. The great expectation, and it is with the same expectation that the teachers are paid on par with the IAS, IFS, and all those people. And that's what they also think, that this recommendation should be done. What they are recommending is that promotion, salary increases, recognitions, everything should be based on the student reviews, innovations in teaching, pedagogy, quality and impact of research, professional development activities, and other forms of the service to the institution and the community, for which institutions have to develop the IDPs. Just like for CAS, some norms have been developed. But I don't know, many of you are aware, I think perhaps 90 to 99% people pass in the CAS and they get into next level. So there are issues about how this internal system of there is also talk about equity and inclusion in higher education and developing the support for high quality higher education institutions in bilingual. There is also a talk about bilingual institutions. If we want to increase GER, bilingualism has to be adopted. Very important topic this has been touched here, and that is again to do with the quality or poor quality. This is a reference to the Justice J.S. Verma Commission in Supreme Court judge that said a majority of standalone teacher education institutions, over 10,000 in number, are not even attempting serious teacher education, but are essentially selling degrees for a price. मतलब हमारे देश के करीबन 10,000 ऐसे इंस्टीट्यूशन टीचर एजुकेशन वाले हैं जो सीरियस एजुकेशन का प्रयास भी नहीं करते, बल्कि पैसा लेके डिग्री बेचते हैं. ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट के कमीशन ने एक चीफ जस्टिस के कमिटी का observation hai, and that is the fact that we know. So let us see what is happening in other parts. So we know the truth. How serious or non-serious education happens in the institutions, and that how it impacts on the society and the industry and overall economy. And that's why they have recommended large changes in the structure. Firstly, phasing out this standalone teaching institutions, integrating it with the formal higher education institutions. They are recommending 4-year integrated B.Ed program as a major form. It means, and very good news also for the managements and for the colleges, is that they are expecting that normal BA, BCom, BSc colleges can also now start the programs like that. There is no need of such separate B.Ed colleges, but the formal colleges, conventional colleges, can have the BA B.Ed, BSc B.Ed, or that kind of programs, and that is going to happen by 2030 or something. This is going to be very good, so that the mere degree selling institutions will close down. So these are the, even they have recommended that all the PhD entrants, those who are doing PhD, will be given a rigorous course of teaching and pedagogy. Nowadays, we have observed that even net pass of teaching. That's why they have recommended this rigorous course, which is also good news. This research focus, you have seen India, if you know that we are spending currently only 0.69 of our GDP on research. If you compare it with US and other things, 4.3% in Israel and 4.2% in South Korea. So I think it is easier said than done. Funding has to come, and that's why the NRF has been recommended, where it will grow and facilitate research at academic institutions, particularly at university and colleges, where research is in nascent stage. So those who are interested in research, this is going to be a good news very soon. And this is basically about NAC, this what shape this assessment and accreditation will take. And this is very critical to our organization and maybe for you also. They say primary mechanism to enable the regulation will be accreditation, and it will be the second vertical of HECI. They are saying NAC, NAC, National Accreditation Council. So not necessarily NAAC, NAC. We don't know what is going to happen. Perhaps NAAC, that's our organization, may be converted as NAC, or we may remain one of the organizations, one of the major leading organizations like Air India. I'm sorry, let us not become Air India or BSNL, but we may become a major player in accreditation, NAAC, and there some other institutions may come up. Maybe somebody is focusing on colleges, somebody is focusing on universities, somebody is focusing on some professional areas, something like that. Multiple accreditation agencies, which will be recognized by this NAC, that will come into, and they will follow this robust system of graded accreditation, and that will specify the benchmarks. And they are, as I explained in the previous parts, everything is going to be depend on accreditation by this accreditation bodies. So They are also saying in the long run, it will become binary. It means accredited, not accredited. Not now, but maybe in 10 to 15 years, the current grading system will go. But there is some contradiction. On one hand, they are saying everything will be based on accreditation. If you are highly accredited, you will get benefits. If you are low, you will not. But then this grading may exist also in future. This is also important point. They are also trying to aim at curbing the commercialization of education. We know how it is commercialized, particularly in school sector, that is more. In colleges, maybe it is more in professional colleges. If it is engineering, medical, pharmacy, or such type of colleges, we see this commercialization, this so-called donations and so many things that is happening in that area, not in arts, commerce, science college so far, I believe. So I think to curb this menace, they are also expecting a transparent system, robust system. Again, in that, the accreditation system developed by NAC will play a role of as a complementary check. Again, another important point for the private institution is also that currently some states like Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, they are already doing it. Private colleges can decide their fees based on their accreditation status. So this is also a very important point. If you have a higher, like it is just, if you want to give the analogy of airlines, if you are flying in a full-fledged airlines, you have to pay a higher. If you are flying in a low-cost airline, you can pay low. Or if you are a 5-star hotel, you pay more. So this is like system where if you are a high quality, highly rated, accredited institution, you can charge more fees. This is a good news for the private institutions, good private institutions. If they really want to give good quality education and give good salary to its teachers and maintain a high status, this accreditation can help in a very transparent way. Again, in a autonomy or governance, they are saying that through a suitable system of graded accreditation and graded autonomy and a phased manner over a period of 15 years, all HEIs in India will aim to become independent, self-governing institutions pursuing innovation and excellence. Again, accreditation here. Finance, we have talked about this. This is also 6% of GDP spend is recommended, and I am coming to conclusion where I will say that this has remained dream so far for several years. This has remained a dream, and we are going to see whether it is going to happen. So coming to last parts of my slide, you have heard this presentation and you might have heard about NEP in the past also. What are the key words that you hear from this policy is in higher education is quality, accreditation, graded autonomy, Indian values, ethos, global standard, merit-based, self-disclosure, accountability. These are, and I am very happy to see this quality again and again and accreditation again and again coming into the system, because while they are talking and emphasizing about the Indian values, they are also talking about this globally accepted strategy of quality assurance and accreditation. But what is the reality? Reality, we know. This is somebody sent me on a WhatsApp. These days, everything happens on a WhatsApp university. People perhaps learn little from colleges and universities, but learn more on this social media. So this is a picture talking about what American youth, Japanese youth, Chinese, Canada are doing. And at the end, we are seeing our own dear students on the roads, burning the tires, burning the police vehicles, so many things. This is our Yuva. And an eye-opening image I saw. This is a private school on your left side, a very high-fi posh building. On the right side is a Sarkari school. You can see that Sarkari school ka halat kya hai. That is the Sarkari school. And that in many cases, it is true. It is a reality. And the contradiction you see, look at the house of this private school, poor fellow. And look at the house or bungalow of this Sarkari school. Same is true for perhaps college teachers. You may be knowing it better. So coming to the last part, that is key challenges. While appreciating the great dream that this policy has given, I think we see that there are some challenges. How this motivation and accountability of most privileged Many times I talk about this. Sometimes my teacher colleagues may not like it. I am also a teacher, basically. But I think we are paid well. Indian teachers, government funded, maybe in school or maybe in college, are paid as per the best in the world. Similarly, maybe US teachers, UK, Japan, Australia, name any big country, rich country, where their teachers get paid. Similarly, we get paid. We are the most privileged people in our country, maybe in the 1% population. We belong to 1% population. Our salaries are around plus minus 1 lakh, 2 lakh or something like that. So we are very rich and privileged teaching community in the world. Government aided. I'm talking about only government aided. So we need to reflect what we are contributing, what we are giving back to the college, what we are giving back to the society, back to the India. If we were giving the best, our generation was giving the best in the last 70 years, we could have definitely crossed China, we could have crossed Japan. By this time, we would have become superpower of the world. It has not happened. It means महादेव के मंदिर में दूध कम जा रहा है, पानी ज्यादा जा रहा है. That is the fact. I think that we need to reflect on this. Another important point is corruption in localized faculty appointments. That's why I was little not so convinced about the recommendation of this policy, which is say the independent boards of governors in some institutions will make appointments. I personally feel that current system, this will not work. There is a deep-rooted corruption. There is a deep-rooted systemized corruption in the recruitments. I have seen many states where the rates are fixed. You have the pay, you have that so many lakhs, then only you can get appointed as a teacher in many places. And this, I don't think that policy will have any effect on curbing that corruption at the systemic level. So my personal thinking would be to have a central level, state level recruitment of teachers. All teachers should be recruited through central agencies like UPSC, MPSC, full-fledged, absolutely no politics, only merit, and whatever applicable reservation is there. That mechanism alone will work. Giving this autonomy at the institutional level will strengthen the corruption in the country. That's what I personally feel. Obviously, it is not the view of my organization. This is my personal opinion. Leadership position, same thing applies. They have talked so many things about having high value leadership. We know how the leaders are appointed, how the principals, VCs, and other large higher position appointments are made, and there is a conflict of autonomy and the politics or whatever is that place. And we know, I'm not going to talk about that, but I think again we need perhaps to go back to the Kothari Commission's recommendations, where they have recommended educational cadre. Similar to IAS, IFS, they have recommended Indian Education Service, wherein all the leaders in educations will come. So there will be accountability, there will be, so many things in that. So perhaps that is my own opinion. People may or may not listen to that. It is, and again, equal treatment to unequal. They are saying private institutions and public institutions will be treated same for regulation. Good fundamental idea, but I think that may not work. Perhaps because some private institutions are doing good for the people, giving low-cost education to many people. The GR that we have now is 70% contributed by the private institutions only. So there are a large number of private institutions, philanthropic institutions in the country, which are doing good job well before independence. So they need to be encouraged. At the same time, now there is a new hybrid of corrupt institutions, which make only money, and treating them equal with the public universities may not be a good solution. So perhaps we have to think about that. And another very important point is we don't see any solution here for the plights or the misery of the millions of private teachers, so-called non-grant teachers who get 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, whatever. I have also gone through that. I have also worked for 1,000 rupees. So there is, and we know that millions of such people, and the management people are also helpless in many cases. Parents are not willing to pay the fees. Government is not giving any grants. The GR has to increase. So the college exists. Teachers get 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. Students pay just 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. Poor quality education for poor quality students and poorly paid teachers. That results into unemployable students. This is a vicious circle, a chakravyuh. इस चक्रव्यूह को भेदना है तो we have to increase the importance in terms of funding. More funding has to come from the state, number one. Parents need to be educated that they have to shell out some money to get good education. I want to give example of Japan, where I was there last 1 year. Only 1 or 2% students get any kind of funding. 90% or 99% students take very high cost education, either by loan or by their own, and they get it repaid because they get immediately employed somewhere. In Australia, I will tell you, nobody gets any scholarship. Everybody gets student loans, 100%. You get admission to any costliest university, you will get definitely a loan from the university, from the government. They will give you a loan, and after your graduation is over, there is a gap of 3 to 4 years, and then you have to repay that loan after 5 to 10 years. So the higher education coming free is not a good idea. Higher education should be a value proposition because it changes the life of the students, life of the society. So people should be paying for that, but they must get it upfront. If I am a poor student, I don't have any means to pay for my education, government must provide me loan, must provide me scholarships, or bank should do that, and I should pay it back to the country, back to the society. If that chakra goes on, then only we will be able to bring down this vicious cycle, that dushta chakra. हम तभी भेद पाएंगे when everybody thinks about that in same way. So changing the mindsets of the students and the parents is very, very important, and that can change the future of our teachers and our institutions. With this, I'm going to stop with the quote by Vivekananda, who has aptly said that we may read books, hear lectures, and talk miles, but experience is the one teacher, the one eye opener. It is best as it is. We learn through smiles and tears. We learn. So I think to end it in Marathi, I will say, I suppose majority of the participants are Marathi. Ek tari ovi anubhavi. That is our saints, our Santa has said that. I think that is very important. If we commit ourselves passionately to the cause of education, whatever we are, if we are students, if we are teachers, if we are management representatives, if we are parents, if we commit ourselves to this cause, we can convert this policy as a change making, as our destiny making document for the future India. Thank you very much. Namaskar for your patient listening, and sorry if
Sir, Dr. Jagannath.
Namaskar.
मी सावंत सर.
सर नमस्कार.
छान झालं अगदी तुमचे अनुभव आणि एकंदरीत तुमचा हे सगळ्यांना मार्गदर्शक ठरलेला आहे. असंच पुढे जा. आमचे आशीर्वाद तुमच्या पाठीशी आहेत.
Namaskar. Namaskar. I don't know if there are some non-Marathi speakers. The person just spoke to now is my guru, Ram Sawant sir. When I was in school, he actually didn't teach me, but he taught to my guru bandhus like Gnaneshwar Mule and others. Yes. And he still, I had teachers like Ram Sawant sir, J.M. Salunke sir, Mahajan sir, who put that passion into me. If today I am here in NAC, or represented India in several countries, it is only because of my teachers. And I don't have hesitation to say that if you get teachers like Ram Sawant or J.M. Salunke or Mahajan, there is no need of any education policy. There is no need of NAC. only such teachers can change the destiny of the country.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening thoughts on national education policy. Now, I invite Honorable Dr. M.B. Kotre sir, for sharing his thoughts on recent format of SSR. Sure.
हॅलो विजय सर,
हा विनायक.
पीपीटी शेअर केली आहे, तिकडे रिक्वेस्ट आले का?
नाही दिलेली आहे, रिक्वेस्ट येत नाही, डायरेक्ट होते शेअर. मला स्क्रीन दिसते तुमची, फक्त झूम मीटिंगचं हे दिसायला लागलंय. मिनिमाइज करते. विनायक,
हा
वेट मी शेअर करतो. विनायक स्क्रीन दिसते? ओके सर. स्क्रीन दिसते का विनायक?
पीपीटी नाही चालू झालेले आहे.
पीपीटी चालू केलेली आहे.
कोथळे सर, तुम्ही जो स्क्रीन शेअर केलाय त्या स्क्रीनवरची पीपीटी चालू करा.
ओके सर, ओके.
विनायक शेअर स्क्रीन मध्ये जा. हा ओके, आता दिसते. ओके. विनायक डबल क्लिक.
एक मिनिट सर.
Slide show from beginning. Okay.
Good morning to everyone. First of all, I congratulate Sri Ravalnath Cooperative Housing Finance Society Limited Azra and RBM Mahavidyalaya Chandigarh for organizing this National Education Policy and Quality of Education NAC on today, that is 22nd of November 2020. On this auspicious occasion, respected keynote addressee, Dr. Jagannath Patil, Advisor NAC India, Another speaker, resource person, another resource person, Principal Dr. D.R. More, former Director BCUD, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. The founder chairman of the society, Sri M.L. Chaugule. Dr. M.M. Mane, IQAC coordinator, RBM Mahavidyalaya, Chandigarh. And my friend Patil sir and Sawan sir and all the invitees here in this Gadinglas and all the participants all over the India. My topic is the recent changes that have been taken place in the NAC accreditation process. So my topic is the new guidelines that has been changed recently, and also what are the format for the self-study report. So the first introduction, as all of you know, NAC was established in the year 1994 as an autonomous institution of University Grant Commission. The vision of the NAC is quality, and the mission of the NAC is the periodic assessment and accreditation of higher education institutions in India. They also encourage the innovation in higher education and consultancy training in higher education. Now, the status on institutional accreditation in India as on December 2019, more than 13,256 higher education institutions. That means 603 universities and 12,653 colleges total together will be 13,256 higher education institutions have been accredited till December 2019. In Karnataka, 27 universities and colleges, 823. So far in India, more than 40,000 colleges are there and more than 900 universities are there. Out of that, only 13,000 have been accredited by NAC. Now, my focus is on the new guidelines. The NAC had changed its guidelines from time to time, but there is a drastic change in the guidelines from 1st July 2017 till yesterday. They are going to change the guidelines, and because of these changed guidelines from 1st July 2017, many colleges, they have got grades not up to the mark. This is because the higher education institutions are not aware of the new guidelines. Now, as of now, the total colleges accredited from 1/7/2017 till today is 1497 and universities 74. Total 1,571 colleges are accredited. Now, out of this, only A grade colleges and universities are only 219, that means 14%. B grade, 1,031 colleges and universities, 65%. C grade, 297 colleges and universities and 19%. D grade, 24 and 2%. So this scenario shows that only 14% the A grade colleges are there. Now, I belong to KLE institutions. We are having 15 KLE institutions. Out of 15 KLE institutions, we are having 10 are A grade. So our success rate is more than 66%, but here it is only 14%. This is because people are not aware of the new guidelines. And therefore, I am focusing on the new guidelines that has been launched in December 2019, and it is effective from 1st January 2020. Now, what is the focus of assessment? NAC focuses on quality initiatives for first cycle, then quality sustenance, quality sustenance for second cycle, third cycle, and fourth cycle, and lastly, quality enhancement. Those colleges have already got grade, they have to maintain that grade. That means they have to maintain that, sustain that quality. And those colleges have get grade less, they have to enhance their grades, and therefore enhancement in the quality is required. NAC evaluates strength and weakness. What are the strength of the institutions? What are their weaknesses? And they will also suggest the area for improvements. Now there are various stakeholders, management, faculty, and students are internal stakeholders. Parents, alumni, and community are external stakeholders. Now, what is more important in higher education institution is development of IQAC cell. Development of IQAC cell is compulsory after first cycle, but even the higher education institutions can have the IQAC before the first cycle also. So that is the brain of the institution, that is a building the quality culture in the higher education institutions. Now, revised assessment and accreditation framework, what is important in this, I would like to highlight. Revised assessment and accreditation launched in July 2017. Again, slight changes were made in 2018. Again, in December 2018. Again, in December 2019. And it was effective from 1st January 2020. What it represents information communication technology enabled, objective, and transparent. So the new assessment and accreditation contains qualitative peer judgment to data based. Earlier, we were having 300 questions, but now we are having only 96/93 questions. 96 questions for UG and PG, and 93 questions for UG only. And extensive use of ICT. Now ICT is for documentation also. So that is the use of ICT. Then reduction of number of questions. So earlier we were having 300 questions and all these 300 questions are subjective type. But now we are having only 96 questions. Out of that, 60 are objective type and 36 are subjective type. And size of the report is very less. Earlier, we were having size of the NAC report 2 volumes. Around 2005, we were having volume 1, volume 2. In 2010, we are having only 1 volume. And 2015-16, we are having 200 pages volume. Now, from 1/7/2017 onwards, we are having only 1 volume, but maximum 80 pages. That is the reduction of the size, and also visit days are only 2 days. Now, what the NAC has introduced here, boosting benchmarking as quality improvement. They have introduced benchmarking for various matrices. So many metrics are there. There are certain benchmarks. For example, suppose if the college is having 50 faculty members, out of 50, only 20 are PhDs. So we have to calculate how many faculty members are highly qualified. So NAC has made a certain benchmark, and based on the benchmarking, they giving the marks to the higher education institutions. So earlier, the benchmarking system was not there, but they have introduced this benchmarking. But what is the benchmark for every matrix is hidden. It is not known to us. It is not known to NAC people. So like that, the boosting of benchmarking as a quality improvement is important here. Now they have introduced a pre-qualifier for peer team visit. Out of 70%, the higher education institution should score minimum 25% of 70. Means minimum 18% if a higher education institution scores, then it is eligible for peer team visit, otherwise not. And now we are having system generated score 70% and peer judgment only 30%. And this 70% is validation was made by third party. That is introduction of third party validation of data. It is not done by the NAC people. It is done by the third party validation. That is the software designed in the NAC office. Then there are appropriate differences in the metrics. Now, as you know, universities, 115 matrices are there, but in autonomous colleges, 107, UG and PG, 96 metrics, and UG only 93. Weightages are also different. So this is the thing that has been changed from 1st July 2017. And also in this, there is enhanced participation of students. Earlier, the higher education institutions or the colleges, they are taking the feedback from the students. Now the NAC will take the feedback from the students. And also the alumni role is very important nowadays. Now here, the quality indicator framework, QIF, for affiliated and constituent colleges. So there are 7 criteria, as you know: curricular aspects, weightage is 100, key indicators 4, metrics are 11. Then teaching, learning, evaluation, 350 weightage, key indicators 7, and matrix 16. Then research, innovation, and extension. Research, innovation, and extension, 120 weightage for UG and PG, 110 for UG, and 5 key indicators for UG and PG, and 4 for UG. And the key indicators are 14 for UG and PG and 11 for UG only. Then infrastructure and learning resource, 100 weightage, 4 key indicators. Student support and progression, 130 for UG and PG and 140 for UG only, 4 key indicators. Governance, leadership and management, 100 weightage, 5 key indicators. Institutional values and best practices, 100 weightage and 3 key indicators. In all, the weightage is 1000 and key indicators are 32 for UG and PG and 31 for UG only, and 96 matrices, means 96 questions for UG and PG and 93 for only UG. This is the quality indicator framework. Now, what is eligibility? Who is eligible? Those colleges which have completed 2 batches of students graduated from their institutions and 6 years of existence of the institutions, then whichever is earlier, they will qualify. That is, higher education institutions, minimum 2 batches of the graduation and 6 years of existence. This is one condition. And college should be affiliated to university recognized by UGC. This is for the first cycle and also for the other cycles also. Now, accredited institutions apply for reassessment. If they are not happy with the previous grade, they can apply for reassessment after a minimum of 1 year or before 3 years of accreditation. Now, higher education institutions opting for subsequent cycle, 2nd, 3rd, 4th of accreditation should submit the institutional information on for quality assessment, that is IIQA, during the last 6 months of the validity period. For example, if the validity period for a higher education institution is September 2021, they start preparing from March 2021. That means 6 months time was given for the preparation. Then all higher education institutions applying for NAC need to mandatory upload the information on All India Survey on Higher Education ISA portal. This is compulsory. And another important thing is that the higher education institutions going for the NAC 2nd, 3rd, 4th cycle, minimum 4 AQARs they should submit to the NAC. Minimum 4. Earlier they have made 5. Now recently they have changed it. Minimum 4 AQARs are required. Now, assessment process. The assessment process is very easy and you have to follow the guidelines. As you know, the NAC people will always find the facts, not faults. NAC people are not fault finders, but they are fact finders. And NAC people are cheerful persons, not fearful persons. So therefore, the assessment process should be done very systematically. The assessment comprises of 3 main components: self-study report, student satisfaction survey, and peer team report. Self-study report 65%, student satisfaction survey 5%, peer team report 30%, total 100%. Now self-study report SSR has two kinds of metrics. It was not there before 1/7/2017, but now they have introduced it. That is two types of metrics, facts and figures, quantitative metrics. That is facts and figures means objective type, QNM, and descriptive response, qualitative metrics. That is, this is subjective. First one is objective, second one is subjective. Now the distribution of metrics and key indicators are as follows. As all of you know that there are 7 criteria, key indicators 32/31, quantitative metrics 60/58. So here I have given here total metrics for UG and PG 60 plus 36 96, and for UG 58 plus 35 93. 60 are quantitative and 36 are qualitative. And for UG, 58 are quantitative and 35 are qualitative. So we have to answer in the self-study report these questions. Now, what is the assessment process? This is most important, procedural details. Now, eligible higher education institutions seeking assessment and accreditations are required to submit the IIQA online anytime during the year. First cycle, anytime during the year. And second cycle, third cycle, and fourth cycle, they have to submit before the expiry of the NAC validity, before 6 months of the expiry of the validity period. Then duly filled IIQA, institutional information for quality assessment of eligible HEI, will be accepted by NAC and will be communicated to the higher education institutions within 10 days. In case, if the IIQA is rejected, the higher education institution can submit twice after the first attempt. That means 3 chances are given for submission of IIQA. Now, the SSR has to be uploaded along with the IIQA. Now, this is most important. When you submit the IIQA, then immediately you will get an email from the NAC office that you should submit SSR within 45 days. So therefore, if you start your work 6 months earlier, we have to wait till 45 days for the expiry of your validity period, and then you submit IIQA. If it is accepted, then immediately you will get a letter from the NAC that submit the SSR. And so SSR should be made ready. Now, once you submit, as indicated in SSR, comprises 70% of quantitative data. And out of that 70%, 25% of 70% means 18 points something or 18 marks the colleges should score in order to qualify for peer team visit. Now, in this new system, there are certain non-applicable matrices. There are some questions which are not concerned to the higher education institutions. In that case, we can leave the questions. How much questions we can leave? We can leave the questions as per given in the appendix 4 of the guidelines. Totally, there are 14 questions, but condition is that you have to leave maximum 30 marks and 10 marks for each criteria. But in that, criteria 1, 2, and 7 are essential matrix. You cannot opt out from criteria 1, 2, and 7. What are remaining? Criteria 3, 4, 5, and 6. In that, you can opt out. But in that also, only quantitative metrics you have to opt out. And those quantitative metrics which have been listed in the appendix 4 can be opt out, means you can leave the question. For example, if you opt out 30 marks, then your denominator for calculation will not be 1000, but it will be 970. So like that, you will score more if you opt out. Certain things we can opt out which are not applicable to higher education institutions. Now the data submitted on quantitative metrics will be subject to the validation exercise.
the validation will be done by the NAC software, and after the NAC software validation is done, then you will have a queries. For example, suppose you have you have uploaded the data to the NAC that we are having 6 BOS members. But if you have given the data that is documentation for only 4, then DV will ask that you have shown 6, but documents are 4, 2 documents are missing. Upload the documents within a short period. If you upload it, then they will consider 6. If you won't upload, then they will consider only 4 only. That is most important. That DVV answer should be given. When the DVV queries are there, now if DVV queries are answered within 15 days, earlier they used to give 3 or 4 days, but now they are giving time of 15 days. In the 15 days, you have to answer the DVV queries. Even if you don't want to answer it, you have to say nil, but you have to answer it is compulsory. If you won't answer to DVV queries, then the NAC, whatever assessment will be rejected. That is one of the conditions. Then after getting the report from DVV, simultaneously student satisfaction survey takes place. DVV process will start and student satisfaction survey. So for students, they ask questions. So what is the condition? Number of students should be 100 or 10% of the total student population of that college. For example, if the college is having 800 student population, 10% is 80 or 100, whichever is less, 80 is less, they will ask question to 80 students. Suppose in the college is having 1500 strength, 10% of the student population is 150 or 100, 100 is less, so they will ask questions to the 100 students. Simple questions are asked. The first is that we are from the NAC. Would you like to answer the questions asked by the NAC? If you say yes, then the questions will be asked. 20 questions are there, objective, 1 subjective question is there. Then it will be recorded like that. They will ask the questions, and this process immediately started. Immediately, if you submit the SSR, the process will start. Then once this process is over, DVV and student satisfaction survey, then peer team visit will take place after 1 month, or after 1.5 months, depending upon the availability of the peer members. And then the visit days will be only 2 days. It is not 3 days or 4 days. Earlier it was like this, but now only 2 visit days. Now, NAC will not pre-disclose the details of the peer team visit. They will not tell the higher education who are coming to your institutions or 1 month earlier. They will tell you before 3 working days of the visit. Before 3 working days of the visit, they will announce the names of the peer team members so that you can take them from the nearest railway station or airport like that. So, and the arrangement of the peer team members is taken by the logistic. You will not make any arrangements. Higher education institutions, it will be taken by the logistics. Then the final result of the assessment and accreditation consists of the peer team report. Peer team report consists of general information of the institution, criteria-wise analysis, then presents an oral analysis of SOC, records of recommendations for quality enhancement of the institution, then system-generated quality profile based on quality indicator framework, then institutional grade sheet, and whatever the marks weightages you are giving, we are getting, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Based on that, cumulative grade point average is calculated, that is CGPA. The marks are based on 4-point scale. So 70% marks will be given by the software, NAC software. The marks given by the software will be passive. They will not be active, but 30% marks given by the peer team members. Once it is over, then automatically marks are active. 70% marks will be active, and the grade sheet will come out. That means totally transparency is there. The 70% marks given by the NAC software is not known to anybody. This system, therefore, this system is very, very transparent. Then after the assessment, the cumulative grade point CGPA of the institution is computed, that the software will calculate that. Earlier, PT members used to calculate that. Then in subsequent cycle, second, third, fourth cycle of institutions, in the SSR, the institutions opting for subsequent cycle of accreditation need to highlight the quality enhancement. In second, third, fourth, what you have done in the last 5 years, that you have to highlight, it should not exceed more than 10 pages. And for that second, third, fourth onwards, a functional IQAC and timely submission of AQAR, annual quality assurance report, is essential. Now, the preparation of self-study report. How to prepare the self-study report? Now, many colleges, what I have seen, I have gone to many colleges in Maharashtra and Karnataka, 30 and 40 colleges I have gone as a resource person. The preparation of self-study report was very poor for many colleges, and that's why they are not getting the good grade. That is, what is the data required is, first thing is executive summary. Second is profile of the institution, then quality indicator framework, and data templates and documents. These 4 things are required for self-study report: executive summary, profile of the affiliated colleges, quality indicator framework, and data templates and documents. Now, what is executive summary? Every institution applying for assessment and accreditation process shall prepare an executive summary highlighting the main features of the institution, that is introductory note of the institution, location, vision, mission, goals, type of the institution, etc., whether it is aided or unaided, status, whether it is women's college or men's college or co-education. Like that, you have to mention it within 2 pages. Then criteria-wise summary, 7 criteria are there. The summary should not exceed more than 10 pages. And then SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges of that institution, not more than 2 pages. Any additional information, if the higher education institutions wishes to mention, that you have to mention. This total should not exceed more than 20 pages or exactly 5,000 words. If it is more than 5,000 words, the data will not be accepted. It should be 5,000 or less than 5,000 words. This is the condition. So like that, you have to prepare the executive summary. The executive summary is most important because here in the executive summary, there is a gist of SSR, all the gist of the SSR in the executive summary. Then profile of the institution, in that basic information, name and address of the college, communication, that is phone numbers of the college, phone numbers of the principal, phone numbers of the IQAC coordinator, status and type of the institution, whether it is grant in aid or private college, the date of establishment, affiliating university, which university is affiliated, UGC 2F 12B, and campus area and the location of the campus. That is the basic information you have to give. Then academic information you have to give. Programs offered, how many programs? BSc 3 programs, BA 5 programs, BCom 1 program, like that total number of programs. Here programs means combinations. For example, BSc, 1 course, 3 programs, say PCM, CBZ, PMCS. That is 3 programs. Like that, how many programs offered? Then number of teaching and non-teaching posts. How many teaching faculties are there? Non-teaching posts are there. Then qualification of teaching staff. How many teaching staff are highly qualified, PhD and MPhil, NET, SET qualified? Then visiting faculty. How many visiting faculty are there? Then number of students enrolled in the last 4 years. How many students are enrolled in last 4 years? Data, SC, ST, OBC. And students enrolled in the current year, 5th year. In the current year, how many students are there? Then unit cost of education, total fees collected by the college, total fees collected by the college divided by total number of students, that is excluding salary, including salary, that you have to calculate. Then date of previous accreditation, when the previous accreditation was over, then date of establishment of accuracy and details of submission of annual quality assurance report. This is required in the profile of the institution. Then this is the profile of the institution. Now,
Hello, Vinayak. Hello. Hello, Vinayak.
One information to everyone, due to some technical error, we will join within a 5 minutes. We will reconnect you all.
In the meantime, if you are listening to me, you can ask questions. Maybe in a chat box. Is anybody able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
While you are fixing the problem, if somebody wants to ask question, I will take that questions.
हॅलो सागर सर
हा बोला की.
सरांना द्या ना स्क्रीन.
Our professor has gone for a conference to another, he has gone for a conference, then he will bring a certificate, then that certificate should be signed by the competent authority. Competent authority means either principal or HOD or the IQAC coordinator. It should be signed, then only it will be authentic. Suppose if a document is not signed properly, then the next software will think that this document is not of their institution. So they will ask it, they will ask the query.
Hello.
विनायक म्यूट कर, म्यूट सरांच्या लॅपटॉपचं.
Can I speak to Jagannath sir?
सर ऐकू येते?
हा येते.
Session is resumed, so you can listen to Kotre sir, and then we will take questions at the end. Now session is resuming.
Yes. Okay.
Kote sir, please continue. Vinayak, share the screen.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Now here, here SOP for extended profile. So very easy. The SOP is very easy. See, they asked the number of courses offered during the last 5 years, then number of courses in each program, that documents required. These are the documents. Number of programs offered year-wise, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Then year-wise list of all programs during the assessment period. All these programs should be signed by the competent authority. Then number of students year-wise for the last 5 years. So what is required? Year-wise list of students approved by university. Note, total number of students on rolls across all the programs, first, second and third semester only of the assessment year. Don't take second, fourth and sixth. Then students on the rolls during the odd semester only, we have to take like that. They have put the condition documents required. Then number of seats earmarked for reserve categories. What documents are required? Reservation policy of the government, program wise, authenticated by the admission authority. Then admission to only first year class of students, only first year class. For reservation policy, second, third year not necessary, only first year. Then number of outgoing students are final students. The students admitted to the final year, that is UG third year and PG second year. Final students of all programs, all these programs you have to mention. Then number of full-time teachers year-wise during the last 5 years. Full-time teachers means here you need not worry about the temporary and permanent. Those are permanent, aided, and remaining are appointed by management. So full-time teacher, they mention full-time teachers means, suppose if the college is having 50 faculty members, out of that 20 are aided and 30 are appointed management. So total you have to show 50 as the full-time teachers. Full-time teachers, 30 are appointed by management, 20 are from the government. Then the number of sanctioned posts. Suppose if the number of sanctioned posts are 50 and 20 are filled by the government and remaining 30 are filled by the management, total 100% are filled by the institution. Like this. Then total number of classrooms, seminar halls. Now, how many classrooms having? Suppose you are having 30 classrooms and 5 seminar halls, documents are required. What are documents? List of number of classrooms and seminar halls. Suppose you are having 30 classrooms, 5 seminar halls. All the photography of that, geotagged photographs are essential. Geotagged photographs of all the 30 classrooms and geotagged photographs of seminar halls. And also here for classrooms, laboratories and workshops are not to be included. Laboratories and workshops are not included for classrooms. Then total expenditure excluding salary component year-wise. So that is audit statement is required. What documents are required? Audit statement. If you just say that this DV ask a query with the audit statement signed by the principal and CA. So therefore, first you have to upload the audit statement signed by the competent authority. Then total expenditure excluding salary component for each year signed by the principal and CA. And total number of computers in the campus for academic programs. This is most important. Earlier, when the NAT people are coming means people used to bring the computers from various agencies and they show that number of computers. But nowadays, how many computers are there? For example, if a college is having 200 computers, out of that 200 computers, 10 are used for administrative purposes. How many computers are remaining? 190 computers are remaining for students' use. That is total number of computers in the campus for academic purpose is 190. For 190, you should have documents. What documents? Stock register extract. Stock register extract or invoice. Invoice duly certified. Then note, exclude computers used for administrative purposes. Suppose 200 are there, you mention 190 are used for students and remaining 10 are used for administrative purposes. So 190 will be considered. This is likewise, this software is given for every criteria software is given. I have given this software SOP for only extended profile because of the time shortage. It is not possible to give SOP for all the criteria. Likewise, you have to fill the data. Now, important thing is that if you open the NAC portal and then if you go to SSR, you upload the SSR and go on filling the data. And criteria wise, one criteria I will just give because of time shortage. Then curricular aspects, curricular planning and implementation. Effective curriculum delivery, 10 weightage is there. It is qualitative. You have to give explanation of 500 words. What explanation you have to give? You have to give the explanation depending upon your view. For example, the college is affiliated to an university. Then the university sends us the syllabus copy and the syllabus copy is distributed to the HOD. HOD will prepare the teaching plan. And according to teaching plan, the curricular planning will be taken place. And at the end of the semester, the principal will carry out the meeting, how much portion is covered. Like that, you would give the detail. Then that is explanatory. First is explanatory. Second, institution adheres to academic calendar, including the conduct of continuous internal evaluation. How internal evaluation is taken place? Internal evaluation is taken place like this. For example, in the first test will be conducted in the 8th week, second will be conducted in the 12th week. Then assignments like that, you have to give the detail of that weightage is 5. Now here, this QLM first question, second question is assessed by the peer team on site. Now the third question, that is teachers in BOS, academic council, setting up of question paper, design of curriculum, evaluation process of universities, options 4, 3, 2, 1. This is assessed by software. So out of 3, first 2 are assessed by the peer team on site, and the third is assessed by the software. Now, what software asks question? Teachers in BOS certificates, BOS letters from the university. Academic council, if an academic council member is there, then academic council letter signed by the university authorities and also countersigned by the principal. Then setting up of question paper. If a teacher gone for setting up of question paper, for that also you require document. Then design of curriculum. If a faculty member has gone for the university for design of curriculum, that document. Then evaluation of answer scripts. All these documents should be there. Suppose out of these, 1 or 2 documents are missing, then DVV, data validation verification. Whatever data you have sent, it is verified. It is correct or not? If it is correct, all right. If it is not correct, then they will ask a query and the query will be answered within 15 days. Likewise, for every criteria, there are 7 criteria to answer. And another important thing is the data templates. Wherever QNM is there, documents and data templates, you have to fill the data. Directly calculation will be made. For example, if total faculty members are 50, 30 are PhDs. Out of 50, 30 are PhDs. Then number of PhDs 30, number of faculty 50, 30 by 50, 60% percentage will be calculated by software. You need to calculate. How many students have gone for education? BSc to MSc, BA to MA, or MSc to PhD, or MSc to MPhil, like that. That is also calculated by the software. Things are very, very easy for this NAC. So from 1/1/2020, this is very easy. And from 1/1/2020, they have removed 25 matrices, important 25 matrices, which are not applicable for district level or taluka level or rural colleges. For example, first thing is that how many new courses have been started in the last 5 years? That question was there. It is very difficult to maintain the courses last 5 years, but how to start the new course, that they have removed it. And second is how many students from the other states? That question was they have removed, because from neighboring colleges, for example, we are neighboring to Maharashtra, we can get some students, but some colleges are in the interior of Karnataka or Maharashtra, they won't get the colleges from the other states. So that question is also removed. Number of faculty members from other states, that also they are removed. Things becomes very, very easy. If you study, if you go through the guidelines, it is very, very easy. And this SSR self-study report will be hardly 80 pages. If you print it on both sides, 40 sheets only. It is very, very easy. And if you follow guidelines, it will be very, very simple. So this is the way how you have to prepare the self-study report. And while preparing the self-study report, now documents are very essential. All documents should be signed by the computer authority. So what my advice at the concluding point, my advice is that any document is there, it should be signed by the principal, IQAC coordinator or HOD, and then it should be kept on your scanned and kept on your website. Wherever required, you can use it. Otherwise, many colleges, they keep the documents here and there, and at the end, they search the documents are missing. So that you have to follow. And if you follow from the year 1 or year wise, if you prepare the documents, things will be very easy. So AQAR year wise, if you prepare. So according to me, the 4 things you have to follow. First, you read the guidelines carefully. This is the first thing. Then prepare AQAR, annual quality assurance report, every year. And this, after preparing, procure all the documents. All documents you have to collect. And then every year, you have to have the documents of all these. Documentation should be signed every year. Then the things becomes very, very easy. You will get the good grades. Some of the colleges are getting now good grades with this new, but many colleges have gone the grades lower than what the previous. This is because they are unaware of these the guidelines. If you follow the guidelines clearly, because of the time shortage, I'll wind up. Once again, I congratulate the Sri Ravalnath Cooperative Housing Finance Society and RV Mahavidyalaya, Chandigarh, for giving me an opportunity to share my views about the NAC new guidelines. With this, I conclude my speech. Thank you, one and all.
मातृभाषेमध्ये घ्या. तर कुलकर्णी सर तुम्हाला भेटायला
हा
बिझी आहे.
ओके ओके
माने सर
Yes, sir.
कॉपी
घेऊन यायचं नाही. कोणत्याही जणात कॉपी द्यावी.
नको बस नको मी
माने सर
3 तास पाहिजे सर
अरे बापरे. ते फक्त तुमच्याच जेवायला पाहिजे.
माने सर
येस सर
आवाज येते का?
येस येस
येस सर प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
Thank you very much, sir, for educating all of us regarding the modified format of SSI. Finally, I invite Honorable Principal Dr. D.R. Moray, sir, to highlight the changes in the format of AQR.
The national webinar jointly organized by Sri Ravalnath Cooperative Housing Finance Society Limited Azra and R.B. Madkhorkar Mahavidyalaya Chandigarh on the topic of national education policy and quality of higher education. The first speaker who inaugurated this webinar is the advisor of NAC, Dr. Jagannath Patil, whom we call as the pride of Kolhapur. He is born and brought up and 101% Kolhapuri in his attitude and in everything. He delivered a very nice lecture on the salient characteristics or features of the national education policy and its impact on the higher education. This is a very new topic, discussed, debated all over India, and finally came in the form of education policy. And in spite of this very short period, Dr. Jagannath Patil gave a very nice lecture on that aspects. He pointed out the good points as well as the difficult points. He also pointed out about this curbing of corruption in higher education. When everything is going in the hands of private agencies, small number of the colleges, the schools which have a very small number of the students, the government is thinking of shutting down those colleges, those universities, those schools, and then everything will be concentrated in the hands of a few people. The corruption of, in the case of teachers appointment and so many things he pointed out. At the same time, he said that this is a very revolutionary step taken by this central government by bringing in this national education policy, taking into view the effects of impact of this education policy up to 2050. Even he spoke about this GAR also, which might cross 50% by 2030. A very nice lecture he gave. We are proud of him. Another lecturer, Principal Dr. M.B. Kothare, he is a good friend of mine. He was in Bagewadi College, Nippani principal, and he is also a peer team member. He told all the participants must have been benefited by his lecture because in a very minute details, he brought out to the notice of all the participants. In fact, this is a very, very important document. This SSR is the ambassador of your colleges. And if that is self-explanatory, effective, pointed in the bulleted form, then only that can impress the examiners. And he has a long experience. He has visited so many colleges, even in Kolhapur, and delivered his lectures on this preparation of SSR. He also gave a very nice lecture on this. In fact, I was here to preside over the valedictory function. But 2 days back, I was told that I have to speak on this recent changes in AQAR, which is now one of the best. You can say AQAR, why I don't know, but yesterday when I saw some changes in AQAR, annual quality assurance report, at that time, if such 5 reports are sent to the NAC, then I think there will not be any necessity of SSR. Everything is included here. And each and everything, very minute details, minute things are also reflected in this SSR. For AQAR, for this AQAR, the basic requirement is the establishment of IQAC. IQAC is said to be the soul of this entire process. College is there, principal is there, heads of departments are there, teachers are there. IQAC coordinator is there. He is a very important person, coordinator. But in so many colleges, we saw some 5 years, 6 years back, even today, the IQACs are not functioning. Each and everything that we do in our colleges must be recorded in the IQAC record. And if it is recorded, then we don't need to search here and there, because already that record, that document is in our IQAC set, IQAC. So that is a very, very important, that NAC says that it must be functional. Functional. And think of only quality improvement. Quality improvement is not an accident. That is a process, continuous process. And that continuous process can be speeded up with the help of IQAC by assigning different tasks to different people, taking into consideration their attitudes, their approach, and their likings and their dislikings. Then only IQAC can be successfully complete the task given to them. And this IQAC has to prepare this AQAR. And while preparing this AQAR, some changes have been made. Now the AQAR is in 2 forms. Form 1, the Kothare sir said, all the information about this institute, right from the establishment to date. What is the position? What is the picture of the institution? That is in AQAR, first part A, and in the first part B, again criterion wise. I would like to tell, I tell so many teachers, so many IQAC members, the difference between criteria and criterion. Criterion is singular, criterion 1 we say. And criteria means all, including 7 criteria we say. So we don't say 7 criterion. And criterion is 1. So in this B part, criterion wise assessment is made here. And there are some changes in old and new. And these changes, if I tell you, I think instead of telling the changes, the teacher should go by the manual given by the NAC. For example, I will tell you one thing, criterion 1, curricular aspect, curricular planning and implementation. It has 2 questions. And the questions are, institution has the mechanism for well-planned curriculum delivery and documentation. Now this, you will have to write in 500 words. That is 500 words. Second is, certificate diploma courses introduced during the academic year. During the academic, this is annual. not right from the inception of the education institution, right from the beginning. How many courses are there here? Only in the last current academic year. What has been implemented? What has been brought? Only names and its detail is necessary to be given. Only names and its details. Not necessary to go only hotch and potch there. New AQR, here 3 questions are there. Writing description of initiative in more than 200 words again. The institution ensures effective curriculum delivery through a well-planned and documented process. Write description of initiatives in more than 200 words. Second is there 112. The institution adheres to the academic calendar, including for the conduct of continuous internal evaluation, CIE. Now what you have done here, write description in maximum of 200 words. These are the additions. Writing descriptions of initiative not more than 200 words, and secondly, write descriptions of in maximum of 200 words. These are a few changes that I could see yesterday only. Then curriculum enrichment, 1.3. A new question became simple to write. Now it has simplified. And it is said that institution integrates consecutive issues relevant to professional ethics, gender, human values, environment, and sustainability into the curriculum. Now this 132 is same question as before. Next question is same as before, old one. Only small change in which question divided into 2 parts. Number 1 and number 2, that is division is made. Otherwise, very small changes they have made, criterion 2, the same thing. Now here, feedback system, they have added changes qualitative to quantitative. That is the addition. From qualitative to quantitative, only how feedback is taken and whether it is analyzed or not, that is asked here. That was already there, but now here 2 words, qualitative and quantitative, they have become now keywords here. Even in Kothare sir pointed out in his presentation, qualitative and quantitative, like that in criteria number 2, criterion 3, everywhere there are some additions. Now if I go on reading this will take more than an hour. So many corrections are there. So better the IQAC coordinators take a meeting and general talk, general discussion should be held in the IQAC chamber, and one by one, criterion wise, they should read, they should see what is new, what was old on one side, what is new on other side, what they expect. And that AQR is to be uploaded. At the after 1 year of the accreditation, that comes in the second phase, second cycle, third cycle, fourth cycle subsequently, but not immediately. After now, as our accreditation is over, we are given that period. Immediately after 1 year is over, we'll have to upload that before 31st of December. And then it should be made public, just like SSR. This AQR should also be made public. And everything, every care should be taken to write that whatever we write, that is authentic, that is true. Not only writing for the sake of writing without any documentation. Now we must prove everything on the basis of documents. In Marathi, as we say, Bap dakamita sraddha ghal. You must show your father. Otherwise, perform the rituals, rites. And for that reason, NAC, right from the beginning, NAC insists. You must be true. You must be transparent. You must be true. There should not be only showcasing. But whatever you really do, that must be presented, that must be documented and given in this SSR or AQAR. and taking into consideration or looking at this nature of AQAR, I told at the beginning that if we submit 5 AQARs, there is no any necessity of submitting or making hodgepodge while writing the assessor. What we do, we sit together, we collect documents from here and there and everywhere. Sometimes the people, there are no documents, even then they submit. But now that is not done. AQR, for AQR also, when AQAR, when you submit, at that time, after some time, they give you opportunity also. If you want to edit, they give some time. If they have any doubt about whatever you have written, they will ask you. They will wait for 15 days for your reply. And if the reply doesn't come, then they will go ahead. So this is not only we for the sake of discussion, it is not that we will discuss here today, but this needs a very rigorous exercise. We must sit together. Now, when the NAC began, Dr. Jagannath Patil said, "He for the last." I told Mallapana that now he is the real figure in NAC, because for the last 18 years he has been there. From our Shivaji University assistant registrar, he went to NAC, and from that day he is continuously there, and not only in Bangalore, but he has traveled. He has visited more than 60 countries all over world. And there he has taken the name and fame of India. Very rigorous, very hard worker. Right from the beginning we see him. And so we are proud of our Maharashtrian person is there in Bangalore in that institute, and he dominates so many things. He said, he reminded me of Dr. this Nigwekar, Arun Nigwekar sir, whom we call father of NAC. Dr. Arun Nigwekar is said to be the father of NAC when 1994 or 95, when Dr. Dhanagre was the vice chancellor, Nigwekar had come in our university. People were not very happy to receive this NAC and Nigwekar and this Dhanagre. They said, what is going on? This all nonsense. Because that was the beginning. And the first slide showed by Nigwekar was, cynics are winning. लोक सगळे नाका मुरडायचे आणि त्याचा विजय होतोय. But we have to accept this. And after 25 years of the establishment of the NAC, 26 years, now we see that NAC has spread its wings all over the country. He gave the calculation, he gave the figure, more than 13,000, including universities and colleges, have been accredited by NAC. This is a very Herculean task. In a country like India, where more than 9,500 universities, 40,000 colleges, 10,000 standalone institutes, 50,000 colleges and institutes, and 900 plus universities. And to accredit all these colleges and universities is really a very Herculean task. And so he spoke that some other agencies are also coming in this area. Maybe the government of India is thinking of, because this is a very, very tough task to accredit all the, right from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, all the colleges. And that I remember why this came. He also, at the time of speaking, he said, in 1986, new national education policy came. Rajiv Gandhi was there, the Prime Minister, and Sam Pitroda, he reminded. Sam Pitroda.
Vinayak. Hello, Vinayak. Please unmute this, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself. Vinayak. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay, thank you. So in those days, government was thinking of bringing our universities, our institutions at par with national level colleges and institutions. But that was, again, I said you, very difficult task. But today we see, because we have, I would like to tell you, sir, Sawan sir, one thing. When the government, British government was here in India, in 1823, they declared 1 lakh grant of 1 lakh rupees for the promotion of Urdu and Sanskrit, not for any other thing. But immediately, the immediate reaction was from Bengal, Rajaram Mohan Roy. He criticized the British government for their policy. They say, what you have been doing? We don't need grant for Urdu or Sanskrit. We have so many speeds and so many places where we can learn Sanskrit and Urdu. And by learning Urdu and Sanskrit, we don't want to go back into dark ages. If your real intention is to make the development of Indian people, to develop our country, then give us education in Western sciences. Give us Western life. In his word, what he said, if you want to show us the light of the West, don't push back up into the darkness of the East. And then the government appointed the Macaulay Commission, and Macaulay's minutes came there. Some English medium schools were open. And to give higher education to the people, in 1857, British government started 3 universities. Mumbai University, Calcutta University, and Madras University. All ports, and British people started in 1857. That was the real beginning of our higher education. And how many colleges were there in entire India from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, sir? Only 27 colleges were there. In our Maharashtra, there were 9 colleges. Rajaram College was the 10th college in 1880. And the students taking education in all these universities were not more than 5,000. But that was the beginning of higher education. And then we see in 1947, the number of universities went up to 20. And then Congress took over the country, British left India, and from 1947 to date, from 20 universities, we have now more than 900 universities. From about 27 colleges, we have now 50,000 colleges. This is the mammoth growth. GER also from 0%, 1%, 2%. In the 1980s, it was 6 to 7%. And today we have reached 30%. And that was a dream of Abdul Kalam, our great president, Abdul Kalam, APJ. He had seen the dream that in his vision 2020, he had said, by 2020, the GER of India will reach 30%. We have to try for this. And then he has said, into inverted comma, India will be the most developed nation in the world. Not India will be #1 country, superpower, he had not said. He said, by 2020, India will be the most developed nation in the world. And that we have fulfilled. Now, there are probably quality and quantity, there are so many problems, because he said not a single university, top 100 universities, world ranking. Today, I think in the first 200 universities, we have only 2 institutes. One is the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and Mumbai IIT. So there is some imbalance between quality and quantity. And this balance must be now we have to see, brought on equal level. And when this happens, India will be definitely the most developed nation in the world. And in that mission, our NAC is working, our Jagannath Patil is working, and we all teaching fraternity has been working there. So I must congratulate this Mallapanna for hosting this hosting and bringing such very effective and studious hard worker persons. like Jagannath Patil, Kothare sir, to have their thoughts reflected in the seminar, National Education Policy and Quality Education. I think on National Education Policy, this must be the only first lecture in this area of Gadinga, Dadra, Chandigarh talukas. In Kolhapur, we had some. So I must congratulate you both of you, and I am very thankful to all of you for inviting me here and giving me an opportunity to share my views with all these people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your insightful talk on the revised format of AQAR. I thank Honorable Keynote Speaker, Dr. Jagannath Patil, Advisor, NAC India, Principal Dr. M.B. Kothare, NAC Assessor, and former Principal, KLE's GI Bagewadi College, Nippani, District Belagavi, Honorable Principal Dr. D.R. More sir, former Director, BCUD, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and all the participants. Now, I declare that this webinar is concluded. Have a good day.
Actually, we can, hello, can we have some questions? Actually, we should have some
questions.
Yes, sir.
Some routine questions can be sent by email, but anybody is having some pertinent question, we can, and actually some views also, maybe 10 minutes. I know we are exceeding time, but still, if at least 5 to 10 minutes, so that people get feeling of interactive meeting rather than one-way talk. So
that should be the spirit.
Yes.
Can I ask regarding the
Yeah, you ask.
National Research Foundation? Can you elaborate about National Research Foundation?
I can hear voice of Kulkarni sir from Bidri, isn't it? I am not seeing him, but I think it is his voice.
Very good afternoon.
I missed the question from Kulkarni sir. Sorry. Can somebody repeat it or?
I will repeat it. Is there any college that has got fund from National Research Foundation or from any other university which has got funding from National Research Foundation? Or can personally I can apply to NRF?
Quickly, sir, I think this is still a policy now. As of now, this NRF is part of the policy document. So now government has to enact everything. It is, as you know, this policy is not guarantee of anything or everything. For everything mentioned in the policy, they need to create a mechanism, pass the laws or pass the regulations, either by center or state, very. So NRF is yet to come into existence. And I'm sure it will come into existence very soon. And as we see from the policy intent, it is meant for everybody without discrimination, like college, university, private or government aided. All researchers, scholars will be able to access the funds in a very objective manner. That is what is their intent, I believe, sir. So very soon we can expect it to happen, I think.
And still in the form of policy.
Yeah.
Second question is that in the education policy itself, from 11th standard onward, they have allowed it to choose any subject. So the people from physics faculty, Dr. Kothare will agree with me.
Yes.
They are worrying about that many students will leave physics subject and mathematics subject at the 11th or 12th level. So do you agree with this fact that students should be allowed to leave subject like physics or mathematics at the 11th and 12th level?
Sir, this is very complex subject. It is ideal. What has been recommended is very ideal, kind of a dream situation. And we know that many of the dreams cannot come true because some small change in the strength of the students will harm the interests of the teachers who are, appointed for that purpose. So there is going to be intense politics and so many things on the ground to implement it. It is not easy. Such things are very easy in a countries where population is small student, teacher, institution strength is little limited. In our country, there will be huge issues, but intent is very good. I agree with the intent. Implementation, we will see what kind of problems will come. And like you, I am also curious to see how the things will unfold in future.
You have to wait for 1 or 2 years.
And sir, you talked about Paramarsh scheme.
Paramarsh, yes,
You
yes.
talk about that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Explain.
Okay. Sir, Jagannath Patil, sir.
Yes, sir.
Our college got grant of 30 lakh rupees from Paramarsh, UGC Paramarsh scheme.
Very nice.
If a college is having CG more than 3.25, they used to give 20 lakh rupees grant. Now we got that grant. 15 lakh they have released so far, and we have spent that 15 lakh also. That is a very good. And in that, non-accredited institutions we have to visit. 5 to 6, you have to choose non-accredited institutions nearby our college. And all the expenses will be done from the Paramarsh scheme. For example, if you go to a college, nearby college, then we have to address them about the NAC. Everything expense will be borne by the NAC. And lot of money they have given for contingencies. We can provide them contingencies. So much of funding they have given, 15 lakh we have spent now. Now remaining 15 lakh they are going to release because of this COVID-19. It was delayed. That is one of the things Jagannath Patil sir has told, that based on the grading system, CGPA, the grants are given. So if the colleges are more than 3.25, then only they are eligible. 3.25 below 3.20, they are not eligible. Earlier before last year, they have given the grants to the colleges which are having 3.51 CGPA. Now 3.51 to 3.25, they are giving this grant of 30 lakh. We have got sanctioned. As Jagannath Patil sir has told, that grant is based on CGPA. That is an example.
Yes. Dr. Arbole wanted to say something. Can you unmute him, please? Dr. A.S. Arbole, can you unmute him, or you can yourself unmute Arbole, sir? You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Arbole, sir, is unmuted.
He has to unmute himself also. I think.
Hello. Sir,
yeah. Yes.
सर जगन्नाथ पाटील सर, मोरे सर आणि प्रिन्सिपल निपाणी सरांचे सगळ्यांचे अतिशय सुंदर व्याख्यान झालं सर. आणि पाटील सरांना एक माझा असा प्रश्न होत नाहीये, पण पुढे काय होईल थोडंसं आम्हाला माहिती पाहिजे होती. मी कला, वाणिज्य आणि विज्ञान महाविद्यालयामध्ये कोऑर्डिनेटर म्हणून काम करतोय सर, कोवाडमध्ये. आणि ज्यामध्ये आम्ही आमचं SSR सबमिट झालेलं आहे. त्यानंतर तारखा ह्या कोविडमुळे पुढे चाललेल्या आहेत. परत आम्हाला आता गेल्या आठवड्यामध्ये मेल आला की आता 19 जानेवारीला तुमची तारीख. असं हे साधारण वर्ष होत आलं सर. आणि मला असं वाटतं की हे असं पुढे ढकलण्यापेक्षा ऑनलाईन ते घेऊ शकतील का किंवा घेतलेलं नाही का?
Yes, sir. Sure, got the point, sir. Yeah, for the benefit of the non-Marathi speaking participants, I have seen there are people from other states also in this seminar. So I will translate what you are saying. You are saying that those who have submitted SSR to NAC or at the various stages of submission, the procedures are getting delayed because of the COVID-19. So NAC is continuously watching the situation, and we were planning to start the visits from December or January. But again, there is a spike in some states. Delhi has witnessed the increase wherever some states have witnessed increase wherever they started colleges and schools. So many states are still not ready to open up. And even though you may be ready, peer teams have to come from different states. And, we have to ensure that everybody is safe and healthy at this moment of time for entire humanity. Their health and life is more important. So I think these things will definitely follow. And as I understand, we are at NAC currently exploring the possibility of conducting virtual peer review. Everything will be online. If the institutions are ready, virtual peer review may be conducted for those SSRs already submitted. We, as I understand, we have close to 350 SSRs with NAC at the moment, ready for the visit. So we are exploring the possibility to conduct virtual peer review, but provided everybody is ready, the college, teachers, students, and the peer team members. I hope in soon this will happen.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone who want to ask questions? System manager, is there anyone?
No one, sir.
Sir, I have one query. Sir.
One second, sir.
Okay, okay. You may.
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, we are listening.
Sir, sessions are very highly informative and excellent sessions were done by all the resource persons. My college is based, located in the remote rural area, and it is a government college. Hence, under criteria 7, we have an example like rainwater harvesting. Yeah, rainwater harvesting. Should it be on a permanent basis or temporary basis? Because we don't have funds to make it on a permanent basis. But the objective is served.
Yeah, I will tell you, sir. I mean, I don't expect this question from a senior professor like you, but I understand the issue. You see, it is like asking a doctor or somebody, can I do exercise every day? Or can I follow diet every day? Something like that. See, and that is number one. It is whatever NAC has recommended. It is for the benefit of the institution, its community, its student, and the society. It is not. Please don't do anything for the purpose of NAC. You have to do it for yourself. Do you take medicines so that doctor will be happy?
No, sir.
You take medicines to make yourself healthy. And one more small point: rainwater harvesting is such things which does not require any money. It requires only some, copying of arrangement, copying of good practices, and it gives benefits for not for 1 year, for decades. It will give you benefits for you. So I think you take all the recommendations of NAC in that spirit only. They are prescribed for your own health, not for NAC's happiness.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We have one more question from Adarsh College, Vita.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Yes. Can you listen me, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Very nice talk from you. I want to ask one question. Last year, our college submitted AQR in December, before 31st December. This year, it is necessary to submit again before 31st, or is there, due to COVID-19, is there any delay that?
I think you can see the website, because the policies change as per the situation. I understand extension has been given till May 21, but you please confirm it on the website. Please confirm it on the website. That is my question. Yeah, that is my suggestion to you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All the pending can be submitted before 31st May. Pending AQR.
We are not. Our case is not pending. Regular AQR.
This before 31st you can submit, sir. This.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
As it is, you can submit.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone, system manager? Is there anyone who want to ask question?
No one is here, sir.
Okay,
so before that, More sir, thank you for your kind words, and Kothare sir, thank you very much for your helping NAC in promoting the cause of NAC. we
Thank you.
need people like you who
Yes.
can spread the message of NAC, understand and these things. So my personal thanks to both of you and also the Ravalnath College. I give it
Thank
to
you, sir. Thank you.